Hello, everyone. Welcome to Widening Our Lens, a focused case study examining women in Animation Vancouver's Animation Career Accelerator program, or ACE program, and its role in advancing women in key creative roles. My name is Tracy Mack. I am one of the co-executive producers of the ACE program. I'm the head of production and COO of Imagine Create Media, and I'm moderating your panel today. Just a few things about how it works. We do welcome questions. We are going to take questions at the end of the panel, but feel free as you go along to enter it into that Q&A box. So please use the Q&A box and not the chat. And before we begin, I would just like to quickly thank Spark, of course, and the sponsors of this year's ACE program: Creative BC, Telefilm Canada, Toon Boom, Atomic Cartoons, Autodesk, Canadian Media Producers Association BC branch, Spark, Boughton Law, the National Film Board, Flying Kraken Creative Studios, Urban Safari Entertainment, Coco Productions, Lindsay Productions, The Research House, Producer Essentials, and Pender PR. And now to our panelists. I'll let them each introduce themselves. Roseanne?
Hi, my name is Roseanne Tisrand. I am the founder of the ACE program and co-executive producer along with Tracy. I am also the founder of a boutique design studio and original content company called Flying Kraken Creative Studios.
Tini?
Hi, my name is Tini Wider, and I'm a line producer at Atomic Cartoons, and I'm the producer on the project.
Robyn?
Hi, I'm Robyn Campbell. I wrote Pivot, and I do work at Mainframe Studios in their development department as a coordinator, but I am leaving Mainframe to pursue screenwriting full time.
And Cindey?
Hi, I'm Cindey Chiang. I'm the art director of this project, and I'm currently a visual development artist.
Ana?
Hi, everyone. My name is Ana. I'm a senior animator at Atomic Cartoons, and I'm the director in the project.
Erica?
Hi, I'm Erica Miles. I'm a lead animator at Atomic Cartoons, and I was the animation director on the project.
Eva?
Hello, I'm Eva. I'm an interdisciplinary artist in Vancouver, and I'm the composer on Pivot.
Fantastic. And Roseanne, could you tell us about the ACE program, what it is, and how it works?
You bet. So through making a film, the overall goal of ACE is to demystify the process and provide the experience of creating original content in a key creative role. How do we do that? First, candidates apply. We shortlist the candidates by role. We provide pitch training with Jan Miller on speaking about yourself in preparation for the jury. We have another session of pitch training with Jan on speaking about your idea and presentation to present to the jury. And then each role is provided with a half-day to full-day workshop with an industry leader in preparation again. With that preparation, the shortlisted applicants pitch to the jury. The jury makes a selection. Over a year and a half, we make a film, which includes hiring a crew, up to 15 workshops on soft and hard skills, a minimum of 40 hours of personal mentoring for your role and how to prepare to do that role. And our producer incorporates, which means we have a brand new animation company owned by a woman in our community, which is really important. Once the film is done, each of the candidates has a key creative role, firsthand experience, and group ownership of the film. There is additional pitch training with Jan on how to speak on a panel after the film is done, and we go speak on panels, such as today. There's another pitching session prior to attending a festival or market. There's a workshop on how to enter and strategize festivals and markets. And finally, an in-person trip to a market or festival of the groups choosing to speak about the film and themselves.
And you mentioned, Roseanne, at the end of this process, the team end up owning the film. How important is IP to this program?
IP is critical. It's always been important to Tracy and I to have IP remain with the team. We need more IP in Canada. We need to know what it feels like to make original content, and we need more female voices to own IP.
So why don't we talk to the team now about their experience with the program. So Robyn, what did you learn from the program as a writer?
Oh my gosh, what didn't I learn? And you said 40 hours of mentorship. I was like, I got way more than 40 hours of mentorship for sure. as I continue to meet with them and talk about my career. My mentorship, it actually really started in just pitching myself to try to get to be a part of the project. The program actually sets up the finalists in each category with mentors, with Jan Miller, in order to pitch ourselves properly and our stories and learn how to pitch, which was amazing. But then actually becoming a part of the program, meeting with Julie Stewart and Jai Snowgrove and Roseanne, we like completely broke down the script that I had originally pitched and went through a full notes process, how to create my voice and maintain my voice throughout the note process that you go through with EPs on a project, which for me was extraordinarily valuable because I learned how to stand my ground on the things that were important to me and when to be flexible and when to incorporate various notes and how to discuss notes just with another person so they understand where I come from and I understand where they're coming from, which was a fantastic process. And then continuing on to talk to my mentors about just like the screenwriting world and different people I can connect to and just expanding my experience of this world and the people I know.
And what made you want to kind of participate in the program and write a short film?
So I was very fortunate on being at Mainframe Studios, which is like a huge supporter of this program, that the year before me, there were two people that I knew at Mainframe Studios who were the producer and the art director for the film the year before that was extremely successful. And I actually went to the screening when Spark was live before COVID. I went and saw the premiere and I sat there and I listened to all of the women talk and I was so inspired. And so like, I want to do this, like that needs to be me. I want this experience. And so I was extremely like gung-ho and excited and was very fortunate to be able to talk to those women about the program and their experience and what the program looked for before I applied. So I knew it was going to help me in my career and help me grow as a person.
Tini, how do you feel this program has prepared you to become a producer?
I can't even say. I'm echoing Robyn. I'm like, what did it not do? The most important part for me, and Roseanne mentioned it before, we do have now a company called Wider Entertainment, which I found, and thank you, Roseanne, for the name actually, and Tracy, because we did that together. It's how cool is it if you get a company served on a silver platter? It was such a safe environment for me to try everything out and have this company from the startup, because that's the big difference that I experienced to my day-to-day job, where there's always parameters, there's a client. Even with an IP in a company, you still have parameters and people. So here I am all by myself, but I'm not, because I have mentors that support me and that I can always turn to. And a mentorship where you feel there's always a safety net, but you still have to do the job, which I think this was the biggest learning experience for me, because that are things that I have never done before. I have, like worked with people and worked with teams, smaller, bigger teams, but to do that was just exceptional for me. And I think it's always better to look back and see what you learned when you're in it. You're just doing it. You just, have your lists and then you work it through. But now looking back and having it done and really accomplished it really shows you where you have grown, or I have grown in certain areas where I didn't even know. So that's always when I would say people apply, go do that program, because it gives you something you wouldn't even have imagined before, because you didn't know. It's the thing when you don't know what you learn, when you don't know what you don't know. So yeah.
And what would you say is kind of the biggest difference between, your day-to-day role as a line producer versus producing this project with ACE?
Well, definitely being involved in the creative process, because I was part of every step along the way from, maybe not the script, but I remember just having the script in my hands. I thought I was so touched by the story. And I think, I'm sorry, I'm taking this away for everyone now, because everyone who read the script was saying, oh my God, I felt the same. This is me. And then I thought, oh, this is only me, or maybe then Robyn and me. And then every single person, every animator, every designer we talked to, I'm like, oh my God, I know this. So this makes it so much bigger, and I'm getting even goosebumps saying it right now. So that is an experience I never had before. And then being part of visual development is just so much fun, because you can explore. And I remember Cindey's very early drawings, and also the way that it got connected to or always staying connected to the story, and breaking that down, and then going down the steps, down the pipeline. That was very, very new and so exciting for me, because again, that creative part is typically, I'm the guardian of the budget and the schedule, which I was too, but that was the new part, and it's very exciting, and I was very happy to be involved that closely.
And as part of kind of making the film for this program, you elevated an additional 5 women to a key role. Do you want to talk about that and why it was important to do so?
Yeah, that was absolutely cool, because we were trying to get all supervisors. I mean, an all-female crew is sometimes a bit tricky when you get into delivery deadlines. But we had all the others, so the BG supervisor, the effects supervisor, the comp supervisor, and all were like, if there were natural choices for me, because I knew them from before, and it was just like easy to excite them, to show them this, that we had either we had a little bit of art to show them, or already there was animation there. Everyone was just so stoked and so hooked to the project and what they were seeing, so it was really easy to hire, and these artists rose to the occasion. I mean, I knew that before, but it was exciting what they created. So I'm still so excited that we had all the supervisors done by female leaders, and so it kind of is giving what we were giving, because it's such a treat for us that we could do that, and now we could hand it, you know, like, or extend it to the supervisors as well. So that's good.
Ana, so compare your thoughts before you started the program and going through the program and being a director now. How did this program work to demystify a director's role?
Oh yeah, it completely changed my vision on the role. Being part of the program was really special, and it really gave me the opportunity to be hands-on on this role, and where to before I was mostly working with animation on my day job. I was only dreaming about it and envisioning this as like, oh, I'm gonna be the director. I'm gonna like gonna have a vision for the film, and then coming into the project and learning that, especially through mentorship, that my role is actually not to really control the film. I don't have to control anything. I can only expect everyone to do their jobs and give them all the support that they need for them to do their jobs well. So it's mostly guiding everyone and not really interfering. So that was the biggest change. Like, oh, because we often like romanticize the role of the director, being like, oh, the director is so powerful. It's like, no, not really. I just have to stand here and help make sure that everyone is going in the same direction, and that the story and the message is keeping truth, and art and animation are talking, and everything is cohesive. So that was really what changed.
And then what did you learn about yourself for the program?
Yeah, being part of the program has really put me in the spot of leadership for the first time professionally. And it was surprising to me that I really connected to this role. And it was truly special to be able to talk to the artists and having a close relationship with them, and finding myself to be really enjoying this role and finding that I really feed on this place of support and engaging and making sure that they stay motivated and that they find what it is that really passions them throughout the project. So now I'm back at my day job as an animator, but really missing that connection that I have with Cindey, Erica, Robyn, Eva, and Tini, and like, oh my God, I miss them. I miss talking to them every day and making sure that that we keep the project alive. So yeah, it was really like a crash course into leadership, and yeah, I learned that I really enjoy this.
And Erica, how is it for you being an animation director and leading a team for the first time?
Yeah, I feel like I can relate a lot to what Ana said, in that the role is not a lot about controlling the film and the performances, but sort of being the support, because we had a fantastic team of animators working on the project, and like myself, they all connected really deeply to the story. So they all had their own sort of little wonderful bits that they brought to the film, and sort of, just figuring out how to gently nudge them and guide them so that they were hitting specific important story points, and part of Ashley's emotional roller coaster for the film. But yeah, it was all about that support. So that was a really amazing experience to be a part of.
And what were some of the challenges you faced as an animation director?
I think definitely doing everything over the internet was a big one for sure. A very new challenge too. Especially trying to sort of communicate to each of the artists sort of what those performance milestones were when I'm not there to like directly speak to them. So figuring out ways to sort of describe that in words and visually convey it so that they had a very clear idea of sort of where they needed to hit certain points of the story. But yeah, we figured it out somehow, and it ended up working out.
And what would you say is one of your biggest takeaways from participating in this whole process?
I feel like there are lots. But one of the biggest one is, because I'm someone who really likes to have a degree of control. So I learned a lot, like, to sort of let that go, because everyone can bring so much of their own sort of side to it, and it makes the project so much stronger. So just sort of learning how to best support and guide and not tell everyone exactly what to do, I think was a really important thing that I took away from this.
And Cindey, you were the art director on Pivot, the film. What was it like creating your own vision from scratch for a project like this?
Oh, it was a very wonderful experience. Because it's been, to be able to create something from scratch is a very rare opportunity, especially when you've been working for quite some time. So being able to be handed like such a great story to begin with, and really getting to dive into that and being told from the beginning, like, just go with, just come up with anything, just go for it, like Ana was very supportive with that. And everybody truly at the beginning, just letting me sort of take the time and figure things out. That was really great. Yeah.
And then how is this different from what kind of you do in your day-to-day regular job?
It's very different because just sort of being able to have that overall scope on the whole project and being involved from the very beginning to the very end, and just seeing how everything sort of came together. I think there's like, you don't get that level of involvement in a regular job. So that was quite special.
And did the program kind of fulfill your expectations of kind of why you wanted to apply to it? Oh,
absolutely. Yeah. Like, I think, all like for every reason, like just the support we all have and like the relationships we built with each other, getting to create such a wonderful project together and seeing the end result at the end. So I would say it fulfilled like all aspects.
Okay. And Eva, what was your experience like as a composer as part of this program?
Yeah, it was really wonderful. I kind of come in at the tail end to finish up all the music and everything. It was so wonderful to be with the team from the beginning. That's something that I usually don't get to do as a composer, is really see how the film evolves and what kind of changes are made during that process, and to really sit in on those meetings and hear all these creative women sort of come up with this film and continue doing that has been, it was one of the best parts for me, is just seeing all of us work together to create this film and then coming in and getting to actually write the music for it.
And then getting to kind of see that whole process, and then of course your time composing for the film itself. What did you learn, or is there anything that kind of surprised you?
For sure, yeah. I think for me, it became really clear that there was this line that I really wanted to ride with this film, and to not lean either way, which is to become super generic or feed or handhold the audience in a way and tell them what to feel. And I think my ultimate goal was really to immerse the viewer into Ashley's world and to give her those idiosyncrasies and to make her that real person that she is, because we want her to be that relatable. So that was really surprising for me, was to really dive into kind of the psychology of this and yeah, create that music for her and for the film.
And then Roseanne had talked about at the start several phases kind of that took place as part of the program. There were some, after kind of submitting the application and stuff, one of the things you first did was kind of initial skills-based workshop based on whichever role you were applying for. Erica, could you tell us what those workshops were like?
Yeah, we had a really great one right at the start about the animation role specifically, which is great because it's kind of a mystery when you don't know exactly what the role involves. So having it sort of broken down was really helpful. And then we also had some really fantastic soft skills workshops, because those are such an important aspect to the role as well, and not something that's often covered when you get put into that role. So yeah, learning how to deal with people and have difficult conversations and things like that. So yeah, I found them really, really helpful.
Training with Jen Miller that was held together with the team. Anna, could you talk about that?
Sorry, Tracy, you froze. I didn't hear the full question. Can you repeat it, please?
Sorry, I got an internet error message. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so the team had the shortlisted applicants had workshops with Jen Miller on kind of pitching and presenting themselves. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, so Jen was a fantastic tool that was presented to us, and she gave us a fantastic workshop on how to present yourself, how to pitch yourself, and she really put us on the spot. At first it was very scary. I think all of us felt that. There's like, we get into the workshop and she immediately gets you to present yourself, and it's quite fantastic that by the end of the workshop we get to transform our vision over ourselves completely. So where at first we're just tentative little girls, at the end of it we come out of it very empowered. And I still keep some of the recordings I have from my practicing my pitch, and it's still now is like, even a couple months later watching it is already like, oh my god, who's that girl? And now I feel like a complete different person. So Jen was amazing.
And then you each had your workshops for the specific roles. You had the pitching training from Jen Miller, and then you got to step in front of the jury. Eva, what was the jury process like?
It was awesome. The jury itself, the roster was just incredible women in the industry that were listening to our pitches. And it was just a great experience to sort of go through that workshop with Jan Miller and to really choose our words. And at the same time, also with our practice, become a bit more natural in our delivery as well. And so actually during the pitch, it was kind of liberating to just kind of put ourselves out there and talk about our experiences and what we want to do with this film and with this project. So the jury process itself was really nice, and at the end it was just really liberating, I felt like.
Right, and I know too, a lot of the jury even commented that it's great to see, you know, as a community here in BC, what a fantastic group we have of talented artists in the community, which I think is one of the really great things about kind of the ACE program and that jury process. Another big part of the program is mentorship. Robyn, you touched on it at the beginning, kind of what the mentorship was like for you. Could you expand on that a little bit more?
For sure. My mentorship was in depth, and I would say like almost like emotional, because I met with them every week, maybe sometimes more than once a week, for I think like 2 months in the beginning, and then after that we kind of made it a little bit less frequent and as needed. But it was this wonderful process of going back and forth as women on a story about women and talking about our experiences and what that feels like to be, you know, Ashley, our lead character, is a young girl who's going through this experience of being held back by her mother and having these expectations, and all of us talking about those experiences with each other and how that felt. And when I first submitted the script, it had dialogue in it. And one of the first things that Julie Stewart said to me in the first meeting was like, we're getting rid of that dialogue, because this is a universal story that every woman in the world can connect to. Woman, and when I say woman, I also mean like non-binary, trans, really anyone that has had a role put on them that they do not identify with, and they have fears of letting someone down. And in removing the dialogue, we made it a more universal story that is told through emotions and through the physicality, and opening this up to the beautiful art that this team has created in the music. It opened it up for more art by doing so. And removing the dialogue actually allowed us in our mentorship sessions to really dive deep into discussing these emotions and what that feels like. Because putting on the page the emotions and the reactions that Ashley was having to each thing happening was incredibly important when we're not guiding the story through dialogue. The mentorship process really allowed me to dig deep into how much I love writing about feelings. And I love writing about transformational processes that young women go through, which for me was this growing period that I found my voice as a female writer. And I felt empowered to now move forward with my career in writing stories for young women to be the people that they want to be. Are you frozen, Tracy?
Tracy, are you there?
We lost Tracy.
We lost Tracy.
We lost Tracy. Okay, I'll take over. I can help. Cindey, let's talk about mentorship for you. Let's talk about your mentors and how that process helped you.
Yeah, so my mentors were Maisha Moore and Patricia Atchison. They're both incredible art directors and production designers. It was very helpful because they sort of early on guided me through the process of a lot of the things to watch out for, or as production starts happening, or as I went along, if I had any questions or needed help with anything, they were always available. So similar to Robyn, for me, we met up maybe once or twice every week or two. Yeah, they just had a wealth of knowledge to share with me. So it was really wonderful having them there. And of course, yeah, as I ran into anything in the middle, they were always available to help out.
Awesome. So we had a bunch of other workshops, as we talked about, on soft skills like negotiation, dealing with difficult people, reading contracts and submissions for distribution strategies for festivals. How do you think the soft skills workshops helped you? And I'll start with Eva.
Yeah, those workshops were fantastic, especially for thinking through those negotiations that artists go through so often, or even those interactions that you have at work or in a creative space where you really have to think about kind of what your role is and how to approach a difficult situation. I found that one, the difficult situation one, really helpful, where thinking about the situation beforehand and entering the space, whether you're talking to a boss, a contractor, or another creative, kind of talking through those things from like a human to human perspective and really countering negativity in a way that's productive, or asking for an actual slot of time where you can sit down with someone. Like these skills that we kind of take for granted, or that I never really think about, because these situations come up so quickly and so randomly often, that that for me was really helpful to kind of mentally prepare for things that every artist eventually does go through and has to go through.
Awesome. And Tini, what are your thoughts about those workshops?
I think what I like especially about that was that we are not, with this program, we're not in a bubble, well, because we are in a way, and we are mentored, and then we go through and we have a film at the end. But with those workshops, you get real skills you can use later on, because then you will sit in a situation and you will go, oh wait, what do I do now? Because I really found it funny when the situation was really hard and they exaggerated, but in the end they said, you know what, this was a real thing that happened to me. So it's not just, you know, going over top to expose you to something that might happen, because it might happen, and now we are somewhat prepared for it. And I really love that one, because it is sometimes you're like in an incubator where you just do your stuff and then you're happy, and then you also learn something. But this is the exceptional part where I think we get real life skills, like work professional skills we can use later on.
And I see Tracy's back, so I'm going to let Tracy jump back in.
Sorry, internet issues today. So the team, you have completed this program. It sounds like it was a great experience for you all. What is next for you? Robyn, you already talked about that you're going full-time as a writer. What are your plans?
Yes, I am going to spend some time really working on some samples, and over the next year, I have some big goals of writing freelance scripts on a few different children's shows. And so if anybody wants to connect with me because they love the film and want to work with me, that would be great. I'm on LinkedIn, because I really want to write inspirational shows for kids in animation. It is absolutely my passion and what I feel like I'm meant to be here to do. And so I'm taking the time now to go in and dive in with both feet and take that lead. This feels like the right time to do that for me.
Amazing. And Ana, what about you? What's next for the future?
First, I'm taking a break because this has been intense. As amazing as it was intense, but also pandemic, right? We did it all through pandemic over Zoom. I can't wait to see my family back in Brazil. So taking a longer break, recharging, and then yeah, back at the job. But now having gone through the process and the project, sorry, where to before I feel like I was really an animator with this dream of becoming a director. Now I know I am a director, and I really want to continue to pursue this on this career. So yeah, that's what's next.
Okay. And Eva, what about you? What's next for the future, and how do you feel you're prepared to kind of move forward and whatever your plans are next?
Yeah, music is such a passion for me, and getting to work on this film has been just incredible as a composer, and saying that about myself, saying that I'm a composer, and having that confidence to move forward. It's just such a dream. I'm so excited to kind of put my music out there and continue writing for film, writing for screen. So yeah, I'm developing a couple albums. I'm working with an instrument from my home country of Slovakia called the fujara, which is an ancient shepherding flute. So I'm developing an album with that. And otherwise doing my usual artist contract life, doing fabrication for stop motion and doing book cover designs. So yeah.
Great. And Cindey, what is kind of the most important thing you feel you're taking forward in the program, and what's next for you?
The most important thing, I mean, through just this entire process, I think now I could say like, oh, I'm an art director. I did this. Yeah. And I'm sure everyone feels the same about their roles as well. And moving forward, yeah, I really enjoyed this role. It was challenging, but I like a good challenge. So definitely moving forward, I want to keep pursuing that and see what art directing opportunities are out there.
And Erica, what about you?
Just like Anna, I'm looking forward to a bit of a rest first. But yeah, I've really enjoyed getting to be an animation director so far. So I would love to continue sort of working more closely with teams like that, because yeah, getting that connection with the whole team has been such an amazing experience. And also, I would love to continue working on more short films like this, because yeah, getting the chance to sort of develop the animation style as well was a really fun experience and a new experience for me. So I would love to get to continue doing that on projects in the future as well.
And Tini, how has this affected or impacted your career moving forward?
You're hired, Erica, by the way, if you want a job. So, well, all of you. And I want to say, I would recommend and put my hand in fire. That's what we say in German, for every single one of you guys, because you really, really kicked it out of the park. It's just amazing from where we were and now what the result that we have is in, because there is so much responsibility and accountability that comes with this job, and you all did. Because also I was a producer, I had some production help, but I was by myself. So I had to rely on you guys being grown-ups and really want that. And you did. So also what it showed me, I don't want to be like a studio or something. I want to go more what Erica said, also continue to produce independent small short films that I think we can also put more creativity in it, because it's out of the grind and you can really get your mind let explore. And Robyn and me already are working on a script together, so if there's any financiers out there, it's awesome. It just basically, there's seamless continuation. It's obviously a different story, but it's the same, like you said, inspirational content also hooks me up so much. So I'm like, we're just gonna continue what we started.
Fantastic. And speaking of continuing what we've started, Roseanne, the program is now expanding across Canada for round 3 and the next iteration with the support of Netflix Canada. Can you tell us about our plans for the next iteration of the program?
Yeah, the plans are pretty much, we're keeping the core of what we do the same, which is fantastic. But new this year, obviously, is we're accepting applicants from across Canada. We are also opening the option to submit a short film idea or submit your idea as a concept creator for episodic series. New this year, 2 additional key creative roles: storyboard supervisor and editor. And then new as of now, we're open for applications until December 31st. So please go to weavan-ace.org, check out the regulations and the rules and apply. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out on LinkedIn. You can reach out through the website and we're happy to guide you. Or you can, if you want to chat to any of these 6, go for it.
Great. And so in addition to that, I'd just like to say, in addition to applying, what are some other ways people can get involved in the program or provide their support?
Other ways to apply, there's, we're really, again, because we're going across Canada, we need to get the word out. We need Canadian studios and artists to participate. And with your help and support, again, we need to do we would love to do an info session at your studio. If you have a studio, a lunch and learn, an info session, whatever we can get in there and talk about. We need jury members. We need mentors for all 8 roles. We need workshop instructors for the 8 roles. And we need special workshop instructors for soft skills, etc. We also need you to follow us on social media. That would be awesome. Tracy, are you frozen again? The one thing I wanted to do quickly while we're waiting for Tracy to come back, just quickly do a shout out to our mentors, Julie, Jan, Nadine, Maisha, Patricia, Ari, Trish, Eva, Lori, Nicola, Terry, Shirley, Christine, Karen, Vanessa, and Barb. What we feel this program provides to candidates, what I want to be really clear, it's truly an immersive individual career accelerator. We like to think of it as the career value equivalent of a personalized degree for your particular role. The actual value, you each get an honorarium. We pay to hire a crew, the workshops, pitch training, software, festival entry fees, and a trip to the market or festival of the group's choosing once the film is done. And you get to keep the film. At the end, it's yours. It's these 6 women now own this film. Wider Entertainment is moving on and doing another film. So all of those things are really amazing for us. When you apply, the things you'll need to have are a resume, 2 letters of intent or a letter of intent, 2 letters of reference, and a reel or a writing sample. And I know one of the questions that I saw was, do you have to have animation writing experience? You don't. Just submit a writing sample or some kind of a writing thought that you have, and we'd appreciate that. So again, all of that is on the website, weavan-ace.org. Tracy, are you back?
I am back, and I'm going to go with some of the questions now before we circle back. So someone asked when applications open. Obviously, they're open today. And I love this question. Question, is anyone going as the attacking dress with the teeth for Halloween? Because it's a great and terrifying costume. You guys have done some fun things related to the program. I don't know if you want to talk about them, Erica or anyone else. And is anyone dressing up as a dress?
I really wanted to this year, but I ran out of time. So next year I would love to, or at least make a hand puppet version, because when I had to act out scenes for the animators, it was a lot of this. So yeah, I did carve a pumpkin, and there's another one also that's coming. So
we got to bring the pumpkin closer.
Oh, okay.
And there's Ashley next to it, right? I can see, right?
Yeah, the
sculpture,
little, yeah. Look how cute.
Look
so
cool. Oh, Erica.
Can I have another question?
Oh, sorry. I just want to do a quick shout out, because I looked at the participants list and I wanted to say thank you. There were quite a few names of people who were participating, making this happen. So thank you so much. You guys really, well, it's us here on the panel, but it's actually the team doing that. So thank you all.
All right. And then a question here, how much time does it take to pursue the program? And can you have, a job while you're in the program, or is this like a full-time thing?
I can answer.
Roseanne?
It is definitely, we know and understand a lot of the candidates have a full-time job, as these 6 did, or they have a family. It's really important to us to create balance, and we learn every iteration that we go through. This is up to 2 years, 1.5 years to 2 years to make the short film. And we really try and make sure if there's someone's got an issue in their life, or there's a crisis, crunch at work, we need to balance that. And we know that it is a part-time program, but it is fairly intensive for sure. But we're always open to hearing what, the concerns people have. But, you know, and it's really important to the team, obviously, that we all have that commitment to sit through the, you know, to go through the full program and finish the film.
Mhm. Now, is this program only open to people already working in the animation industry?
It's really targeted to mid-level people in the animation industry. I would say writing would be the one that possibly could be someone, again, like I mentioned, could submit a script or an idea, and we could look at that. And the other role possibly is an illustrator. If someone's an illustrator of books, that's a possibility. Again, apply. You lose nothing by applying. Apply and see what happens. And if nothing else, you'll be interested in a career in animation.
Okay. And then any advice for people who maybe might want to get into this program a bit, but they don't have a degree or any prior work experience in the industry, looking long term, what's something they could look at doing now?
Well, I would say if you really want to get into animation as a career, find a way to get into animation as a career. You start the process and make sure it's right for you. And then you either go to school or find a way to get in a junior entry level position, or as in a production role, or as an artist. If you have artist skills, you can always submit to studios and get a junior entry level position that way. And then again, most positions we're looking at it are mid-level. It is a condensed amount of time, and we need to make sure there are certain things that we can rely on, like the understanding of a pipeline and of what a role specifically is.
This is a question for all of you ladies. So the question is, when I first entered the industry, I was always told that it would be hard for females to get anywhere as an artist. Did you have any similar experiences?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I had my first animation school. One of my instructors was like a very old school instructor. And so there were a lot of jokes about me only being a cell painter in the future being made. So I definitely had some experiences with that, but luckily I have had some really great role models. My mentor through the program, Nadine, was an amazing one. And she was an animation director before me. So it's amazing to get to be in that role myself too, and not just a cell painter.
Anyone else, similar experiences?
Just adding to that is, other than the jokes that we often hear and the weird comments, there's often a confidence issue that we often don't feel that we're ready, right? Like we know that we want to do certain things, but that was my biggest issue. I never thought I would be ready to apply. Like I saw the program happening on the first iteration, but I didn't think I was ready. And then we keep postponing things to do. And it's, you gotta try, you gotta put your face out there and keep trying. So that's something that I was struggling with, not thinking I was good enough or that I wasn't ready, but not true. Like you just gotta try it.
Mm-hmm. And for the program, Roseanne, if you have a lot of experience or in the industry, if you've been working there for 15 or 20 years, can you still apply to the program?
Absolutely. We have no, please apply to the program. We want that experience, especially if it's someone in a role that hasn't had that key creative credit. Absolutely, please do.
And do you need to be a Canadian citizen?
You need to be a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident, absolutely.
Okay. And just generally, ladies, advice, if there's somebody out there listening who wants to apply to the program, what recommendations would you give them?
Apply. Just apply. And I want to pick something Anna said previously, where she said, like, I never felt ready. And then she said, even when I applied, I didn't feel ready, but you did. So this is the most important step that you need to take. Go apply. talk to your mentors. I mean, reach out to us. I think every one of us is available on social media and email and LinkedIn or whatever. We will let you know. We also didn't do the program before, so we didn't know. So do it, take the step, and just do it.
For me, like in the application, I was so fortunate to be working with people in the animation industry, and I started as an assistant. And I worked as an assistant for people who really, really believed in me, and it was Michael Heffron and Kim Dent Wilder at Mainframe Studios. They gave me so much, like, to get into this program, and giving me opportunities to expand myself creatively at the studio prior to. So I would say, like, take an entry-level job with someone who like inspires you to start. And they provided me with my reference letters in order to get into this program, and that confidence like added so much to me and just like taking that step. Also, I talked to Amanda Conkin, who did the program before me, and I sent her the script and I asked her questions, and she gave me feedback in the way that a producer can give you feedback. And like, so find those people, like your tribe, I guess, who will provide you that feedback, aren't scared to tell you like tough things, so that you can be better and approach the program better. Because all three of those people really did that for me.
Okay, and Roseanne, if someone doesn't have a writing portfolio, are they still allowed to apply as a writer with just a script?
Of course they are. They can write, they can send a synopsis, a script, a treatment, whatever tells the heart of their story and shows that they have the passion and the understanding of story. Absolutely.
And then if they are looking to kind of prepare a portfolio for that December 31st deadline, which, you know, practicing writing is always a good thing. What would you recommend kind of including in that portfolio? I'll go to Robyn first, and then I'll go to Roseanne.
I included everything in my portfolio. I feel like I had a real wide variety. I had like a live action pilot. I wrote a bunch of commercials, and I actually put the commercials in my portfolio just to like watch them. And like, so stuff that like was very directly applicable, and then stuff that wasn't directly applicable, but just showed that I had experience. But really, I would say that like my script that I applied with is probably my most proud piece of writing I've ever had. So have a really, really good script, and then just write a couple of other short films and put them in the portfolio. Just have like something in there.
Mm-hmm. And anything else to add to that, Roseanne?
No, I think what Robyn did is exactly correct. You know, the one thing that we did at the last Spark panel 2 years ago, and I want to do now, is I want each of you to look into the camera and say, my name is, and I am. We'll start with Ana. Your full name and who you are, what your role is.
All right. Hi, I'm Ana Gusson, and I'm a director.
Erica?
Hi, I'm Erica Miles, and I'm an animation director.
Robyn Campbell.
Hi, I'm Robyn Campbell, and I'm a writer.
Tini.
I'm Tini Wider, and I'm a producer.
Eva.
Hi, I'm Eva Pekárová, and I'm a composer.
Cindey Chiang.
I'm Cindey Chiang, and I'm an art director.
Perfect.
All right, well, we're wrapping things up. Before we go, I'd like to thank again once more the ACE program sponsors: Creative BC, Telefilm, Toon Boom, Atomic Cartoons, Autodesk, the Canadian Media Producers Association BC branch, Spark, Boughton Law, the National Film Board, Flying Kraken Creative Studios, Urban Safari Entertainment, Coco Productions, Lindsay Productions, The Research House, Producer Essentials, and Pender PR. We'd also like to encourage you to go check out the film Pivot. It is part of the Spark Animation Festival, so you can go see it with your passes. And if you're interested in the ACE program and would like more information, once again, please visit us at weavan-ace.org. I did put that in the chat. I will put it in the chat once more. Thank you all for joining us.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend and great Halloween.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.